Hi everyone, my name is Tammy Beggar and I am a higher self alchemist, past life energy healer. Today I wanted to check in because my guides were urging me, of course, to do a video. I try to really stay in the moment with these instead of planning them out. And when I get that nudge to do them, we are approximately just over a week into the eclipse window, and we're starting to move into the lunar eclipse, which is this coming Tuesday, November 8th. Today is November 3rd. So we are approximately 3 to 4 days out. The energy has changed. After the eclipse, the solar eclipse, there's a lot of endings, a lot of letting go, just this almost rushed madness to complete things so that new could come in, even though I have no idea what the new is. But since we have crossed midway, which was on Tuesday, there's a totally different energy that's in the air at the moment. It's very kind of pressure cooker like, but it's also, I think it depends on where you are. There might be a pressure cooker moment. I've had a couple of those. I've been really tired this morning. I heard my fake alarm. So sometimes my guides will try to wake me up. And they do so by playing my alarm in the background, even though it's not actually going off, to try to get me either out of a dream that I need to wake up from, to either remember something that was in the dream, or it was something that was scary and causing me issues, or sometimes in the morning when they want me to get up earlier, I'll get that as well. Your inner alarm clock, I guess you could call it that. And I heard that this morning, and it took me a really long time to even move. I just wanted to stay in the bed and sleep it off. And I know that the sun has been super active. I think there was a couple of flares today. So of course that's adding to it. We also are into the month of November, which has an entirely different energy than October itself. And we're moving into a lot of high frequency days. Yesterday was one with 11/11/2022. I'm hearing that 11/4 is also one. Now you would think, well, it's not a repeating number, but the 4 has something with the 2s. I don't know. I just trust, right? I heard 11/4/2022 is a big date. We obviously have the lunar eclipse coming up on Tuesday, and then we go into 11/11 on the following Friday. And anytime we have an 11/11 date and it's in the month of November, it is a choice point moment, which means you get to make a choice as to whether you're going to choose to do something new or choose to take a different path, rise higher, or continue on the path that you are. And we get that choice every month. There's always an 11 date. It's just that because this month's number is 11 and 11, and then we have 2022 on the end, it's super potent. So next week is a high energy week. Some of you may feel like you're in a void at this point, like all the endings have happened, but the new hasn't happened. I keep saying to my clients, I feel like I'm in the bookends, like the solar eclipse was a bookend, and then next Tuesday's a bookend. And very much this energy of new beginnings coming in with the eclipse next week. I had a dream earlier in the week after I had done a meditation that I was recording for my clients about how to manifest using the cosmic womb energy and quantum jumping. I had a dream last night that I was actually in the birth canal on a boat. So there is definitely this energy of rebirth around if you know how to play with it and how to actually intentionally use it instead of your higher self just kind of, I don't want to say dragging you along, but kind of, and getting you to follow the breadcrumbs. You can work with your higher self and that energy to not only manifest what your higher self wants out of this new beginnings that will come after the 8th, but also to include what you want to change for yourself, and in your own life. And that is the energy we're in. I felt called to do a couple cards to see, how has the energy changed since before I did the eclipse. I did the last reading before the eclipse, to see where the energy is now, and if there's any messages that your higher self wants you to know as we head into this lunar eclipse. So I've been just shuffling the deck. Nothing has popped out yet, but it will all happen in time. So how are you feeling? Like, do you feel like pressure cooker energy? Are you more tired? Or do you feel like you're in this void between an ending and a new beginning that hasn't quite happened yet? As we go through this rebirth process where we're integrating more and more of our higher self, and we get these opportunities to go through these portals to up-level ourselves. They come more and more often, but this tunnel between this last eclipse and the coming eclipse is very it's very interesting, very tight zone. Sometimes between eclipses you might get like a month, or we didn't even get that. So the solar eclipse builds in 3 weeks, so we're not even getting time to integrate the next one, integrate that one before we're moving into the next one. So you may feel tired, you may feel like things are coming apart, and they are, and the reason why they are is because new things are coming in for you that you don't yet understand or know how to assimilate to, or even what to do for. You haven't got the steps yet, but they are coming. I do get that the steps won't necessarily come until after the 8th, or even potentially the 11th, when you're given a choice as to whether you continue on the path or you take the new direction. So we got the 3 cards. I'm using the same deck. This is my favorite deck for this. It's always the one that they seem to point me to. I haven't found anything else that really works for me like this. And this is the Enchanted map by Colette Baron-Reid. I still remember other cards. There's just something about this deck. The cards are very different. If you remember last time when I did it, there was this sadness still, this protection energy of not wanting to face our own inner divine feminine and understanding how she plays in all of this, and how each of us, whether male or female, it doesn't matter, we have both, how we're going to start honoring what she represents, which is the emotional intelligence. It's our feeling brain, it's our creative energy, it's our ideas, our visions, our goals, our passion, our interests. That's the feminine. How we as individuals going to start honoring and harnessing that and creating that in our life, versus continuing to attempt to force manifestation through the thinking part of the brain. The thinking is actually what prevents us from manifesting anything, because we get stuck in the how. We go, well, sure, that sounds great, I want that, but how? And the minute you say how, you've shut down the creative flow that comes through your divine feminine to create that in your life. And again, these cards are entirely different. So this is the Talesman card. This is the first card. And again, more divine feminine energy. The light is up. I'm going to, I think, channel this. There's an opportunity here for us to really hone in and honor that piece of ourselves. She will not be silenced anymore. That came out of the last one. So there's all this ending going on around this heavy male egotistical energy, the patriarch, where it can no longer be the ruling of how the world works. The feminine will rise, and she's rising through each of us. She's in the land. She's in earth. She's in the rivers and the trees and the flowers. And she is standing up and saying, are you coming with me? Are you ready to walk with me? Are you ready to allow that part of yourself to be shown? This is actually the part of ourselves that many of us, whether male or female, we hide. It's the part of us that even in childhood where we were taught not to feel our emotions, or maybe you love to draw or play music and you were told that your music or art sucked. This is the part of you that gets shut down. It's the feminine. That's her. She doesn't like structure. She likes that creative flow. So she's standing at the doorway, I'm hearing, at your door, saying, are you ready to allow that part of yourself to be expressed? Now it's going to bring up stuff. To honor this piece of yourself, just from this lifetime, can bring up a lot of trauma, energetic trauma that's in your body, that's literally holding you like this. But I can't. But the only way to get past that is for you to do the inner work so you can release, so you can let go and decompress, they're saying, so that you can start to feel her again. Some of us have it so beaten down in us that we don't even know what she is and how she expresses us through, depending on what job you do. You could be doing a very heavy analytical job, science, technology, very science-based. Where does the feminine fit in there? I worked in IT for 15 years, and I can tell you she is not on the block. Everything is regimented and structured and very limited creativity. It is sometimes fly by the seat of your pants, but it's not in a creative way. It's very jumbled. Many people complain about like YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and how they're always changing. That's part of that energy of that. Well, how can I make it better? Instead of just allowing that creative flow to allow the program to organically change as it needs, as its users change. That's not how that works. It's very regimented, very heavy male, how analytical. And as we go through this lunar eclipse, you're being prepared to allow her to come through, and how, whatever way that works. And again, it depends on where your trauma is in this lifetime around her, or even past lives. The divine feminine has been put through hell, beaten down so much because she holds so much power. Once you understand the power that she actually holds within you, you don't need them anymore, because you truly become the co-creator of your life, and the world becomes your creation. Now, people go, well, what about everyone else? Manifesting in the feminine way is not about you writing it, I don't know, 99 times, or ask the universe for whatever you want, or doing all of the rituals. Manifesting through the feminine means that you energetically become your manifestation. You become the money. You become financial independence. You become success. You become the love that you want to receive. You become your, your clients. And then what happens is, it's because you're energetically vibrating at that, your whole world has to change to match that. You are your manifestation. It starts inside of you. That's what instant manifestation is. It's inside. It's instantly happened. The minute you have an intention, which is the second card, intention, it's created. That version of you already exists like this. The minute you have that thought of, I want to manifest, I don't know, $1,000. A version of you is already created with that. And working with the feminine will get you to align with that. It's not about you having to create anything. It already exists. It's about you being able to allow this energy to shift the things around you creatively and allow that flow to happen through you so that your outside environment organically starts to show your manifestation to you. The difference before is your manifestation used to project in. Now we manifest out to the world what we want and it comes to us. It's a very different way of playing with things, but the feminine, you have within you the womb space, male and female, doesn't matter, it's energetic. And you have the ability to do this. So it comes through you. You become the manifestation. And then there's this stuff around quantum jumping where you can learn how to then connect to the version of you that has it. Which I'm teaching in all of my advanced programs at this point because it's new. It may well be in some of the beginner ones as introductory, but I haven't figured that out yet. But it's definitely, I'm teaching it to my advanced students at this point, and we're playing with it. And you know, I'm having dreams about being in the birth canal using this energy. It's so powerful. Things shifted so quick one night. And then if we can trust her, because it is about trusting her and in trusting yourself, it is about divine love, surrendering to divine love, being in that energy. Can you really allow her to start to express through you? And if you can't, are you willing to step up to the plate? Okay, show me what I need to clear to allow this to start to rebirth in me. We are rebirthing the divine feminine energy. The land under our feet is her. It's earth. This is a large representation of the feminine, but all the elements are within us. So she is within us, but we don't let her play. Life is about seriousness, paying bills, going to work, getting dressed, all these things. And we don't allow time for this. And while meditation is a great thing, she likes that, but she really would rather you sit and doodle or just do something creative. As a child, you did something that was creative. We all did. Even if it's at a young age and it was just coloring with crayons in a coloring book, it's still that creative energy lets the flow. You get to pick the colors that you choose to color that in. That's creative. You know, they do have adult coloring books. You could start with that. It could be coloring pencils, crayons. Just allow that energy to start to flow through you. And as you allow that to flow through you, the ideas come, the intuition comes. The female is where the intuition comes from, not the male. Intuition, what happens the first time you get this intuitive hits? The male brain goes, oh, but no, you can't because this, and this, and this. Like, it's just overriding your intuition. But it's the feminine, she's the one who's giving you all that stuff. All your psychic senses are from the feminine energy. So how can you start allowing yourself to work through the stuff that's coming up with the idea of allowing her to show herself in your life? Some of this stuff might seem silly, this idea of coloring in a coloring book, and it doesn't have to be an adult coloring book. Go buy a preschool's coloring book. I don't care. And color. And it seems silly and you may feel very uncomfortable coloring, but lean into that. There's so much magic in there about where the resistance is that's actually preventing you from being able to manifest the way you want to. You were not made to struggle. You were not made to sacrifice. You were made to be in the energy of play and discovery and create your life based on your intentions. And intentions are far more important than goals. All these manifesting rituals and all that, you can do them if they work for you, great. I don't have the time for that because it really comes down to this. And that's intention. It's the egg, the seed. And the thing with the intention is, what emotion are you creating it with? Are you creating it from a place of, I want to get back at that person, so I intend to do this? or I'm angry at that person so I'm intend to do this. If you do that, you will manifest more pain for yourself than the other person, because you can't override their free will, one, and it always snaps back at you. There's nothing more frustrating to ask for an intention in order to level the field somehow, because you feel like you're being unfairly treated or judged, and then have it snap back at you. I've totally been there. You have to make your intentions through your heart. And yes, we have hearts that are hurt. People have energetically broken their heart. Some of you have large locks on your heart. Some of you have a flame that's barely breathing in your heart. But you want to manifest quickly, get your intentions to be able to be created from a place of abundance, love, peace, happiness, contentment, hope. They happen much faster, and they come in on the energy of that instead of the energy of lack, fear of losing it, fear that it won't be quite right or you'll never get it. You got to be careful about this stuff. I know you've probably heard this a zillion times, but there's a lot of emotional intelligence stuff that goes into manifesting, and you can't fake it. I tried to do Abraham Hicks, oh God, so many times, and it never worked for me because it never felt right, because I knew it wasn't right, and it was almost like it was too hard. So I knew that to me meant that there was something else. And you can't fake an emotion. Yeah, you can pretend consciously, but subconsciously it doesn't work. And energetically it doesn't work. You can't fake energy. But you can get yourself to a place of neutrality. You can get your place even to calmness or hope. And you can manifest through that emotional energy. And then your manifestations start to feel better than if you're manifesting from a place of lack. If you're energetically, emotionally sending out a signal of lack, you're going to manifest even $1,000 out of lack. And that's not what you want. So you need to get your emotions up to par. And there are, through Higher Self Alchemy, I teach you how to find the reasons why you can't get higher on the scale. And I teach you all of that, whether it's past life, this life, ancestors, even future life, so that you can start working on that and you can start being in control of your dominant frequency. Many of us don't even know that that's a thing, but you do. You have a dominant frequency. And that's what you're manifesting through right now. So if your dominant frequency is anger, you're manifesting all of your desires through the emotion of anger. Doesn't sound good, does it? Or even lack or jealousy. You don't want any of those things, but you're in control of getting yourself up that ladder. And if you want to learn how, you can schedule a 15-minute chat with me, and I can share, how you could be in my programs or start to work with me so that you can start to learn how to do that yourself, so that you feel in control and that manifesting actually happens the way you want it to, or better, because you are emotionally in the right place to do it, to receive it. There's so much more in this. They're saying, stop. Okay. So anyways, I can talk a lot, obviously. So these two cards, how are you going to intend to allow the divine feminine energy to show up in your life? And she will help you manifest this. This is the third card. This is the energy of abundance. The moon's in the sky, so we got some more feminine energy, lunar aspect. But this is the potential for new beginnings of abundance. Now, abundance can come in many different forms. It's not just money. It could be love, success, flow, grace, peace, many, many different things. But we have the opportunity with this lunar eclipse to bring this in. But it starts with you getting really clear on what your intentions are from a place of peace, or at least neutrality, not from a place of anger and revenge. That is not going to get you what you want. You might think it will. It might feel good in the moment, but it will not get you what you want in the long term. You have to create your intentions from a place of at least peace and neutrality. And If you can get to hope, that would be great. So are you creating intentions out of love or hope? For yourself, many of us have this need to save the world, but really saving the world is really easy. You save the world when you save yourself. The only person that you came to save is you. But when you do that, you shift your whole world on the outside of you, and then other people can see the possibility of what happens when you do that. And then you become the leader for others, not because you chose to lead them, because you chose to be a leader for yourself. It all starts with you. So we're making intentions on what you want. Okay? And then you got to let that feminine fly. Let her play. If you feel the need to go get a coloring book, go get it. If you feel the need to go get paints and you've never painted since you're 5, they could be finger paints. They do still sell those. And go finger paint. I used to love finger painting when I was a kid. Just let yourself play. And yeah, it may seem messy and all that, but your feminine loves that energy. She just wants you to be free. That's what she brings to the table. No, none of this, I can't because it feels silly and I'm an adult and I can't do that. It's just society telling you that you can't, and a lot of cultural programming and potentially even ancestral and religious stuff coming in as well. But the divine feminine loves that energy. And if you really want to start manifesting this, you need to let her play through you. Okay? So I hope that was helpful. I want you to really honor that. If today or tomorrow, maybe you've even had the inkling of like, you feel like going to the store and buying something, you're just like, why? It's because the feminine energy is trying to rebirth and play through you. And that's an avenue to allow you to start to get that energy moving. For a lot of us, it's been dormant for so long. We have no idea even how to turn it on, never mind how to access it. But it also start bringing up the resistance to why you don't let her play in your life. I mean, how many of you have thought about traveling the world or watching other people travel the world or going on these trips or doing these what appear really fun things, but you're stuck in the day-to-day, the groundhog. Every day is the same. It changes only when you change and you allow yourself to allow the feminine to show how you can shift out of that to really be able to have a life of fun, playfulness, discovery. You weren't born to struggle. You were born to be a creative genius in your own way for your own life. And it's time for you to start stepping up to that plate, as the energy of this lunar eclipse is really a giant push into this energy. And if you can really open up to it, the possibilities of what can happen to you in a good way after this are limitless. That's enough for tonight. I haven't done a November video, but I haven't felt compelled to. So I'm really trying to just stay in that creative flow, right? A lot of people tell you to map out your YouTube videos. I know I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to just be in the creative flow, hence why I've recorded this tonight. Let me know how you feel about coloring. Let me know if you want to talk more about how I can teach you how to find your own pain points and how to work with an emotional scale so you start to understand why things aren't manifesting as you hope. And how to get the feminine energy to start moving so it's easy. Think about that. When you like life to be easy, and it's possible. People are already living it, and if they can do it, you can do it. So have a great night, day, wherever you are, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.